Froze. So how long have you been working on this blog?
So the website just went up last month, and yeah, so this is brand new for me. I've been doing marketing for quite a while. Actually, everything I do is a side hustle. I work at a
Nice.
martial arts company, and absolutely love my job. And so everything I do is a side hustle. I have a high ticket digital agency course. I also do Facebook ads for martial arts country or companies across North America.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and yeah, so then I've kind of created this to try and help people get side hustles and turn it into like affiliate opportunities and those types of things as well. So
Nice, man. What kind of martial arts?
Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Oh, I love it. That's sick.
Yeah.
I did Aikido and Jiu-Jitsu for quite a bit, but never got as cool as you. Obviously, you got
Br-
awards
br-
behind you.
Oh, that's like our club, like voted on by the community. That's not me.
Cool, man.
I wish I was that cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, no, I'd love to help your audience out. I have like a plethora of side hustles. So
Okay.
I have a podcast. It's the Lyon Show. I basically make a lot of money promoting other people as well as like I have a lot of ways to that I sell stuff. So I really started marketing and doing business after I got out of the army because like I just didn't want to work for anybody again. I went to Afghanistan. I did all kinds of military stuff, and I essentially, I was in war, and it just kind of fucked me up, and I just didn't want to work for anybody again. I wanted to make sure that my life was my purpose, and I wanted to do things on my own terms. So after that, I started chainsaw carving. I know that sounds pretty random, but I had a good mentor from Zimbabwe, Africa. So you can go to thewoodcarvers.com. You'll see my website. I make like $200,000 a year selling furniture and chainsaw carvings.
No
I was
way.
one of the first ones to sell them online. Like I still am. I think I have the biggest one in the country in the U.S. So I sell them on Amazon, Etsy, through my website, Facebook, everything. So that was like the first way that I got out of the 9 to 5. The grind of this life. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So that freed me because I got really fast. So I learned from the guy from Zimbabwe how to carve, and then I learned how to carve really fast from some rednecks in Tennessee.
Okay.
And like my parents were kind of hippies, so like I had to learn how to like, use all the tools and everything else. So it was a process, but that really set me free. I've won competitions. I've got tons of awards for it now. So that was like the first thing that really was able to put me ahead financially and things like that. From there, I started, since I was selling things online, I started a business called Pay Per Lead Agency. And that actually came from me marketing for other people. And they saw like how my online business was doing so well. Like I was spending so much time at UPS and just shipping stuff constantly, that they asked if I could start doing stuff for them. And then I'd build their whole business up, and then they'd basically like stop writing the checks, and I'd be like, "What's up, man? I did all this work. Like we had like a monthly retainer, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well we're making enough money now. Like we don't need to do any more marketing." And I'm like, "So what the fuck?" So then I started my own business called Pay Per Lead Agency, where I would make the website, and then I would just sell the leads to business owners.
Right.
And that really got me down like SEO, marketing, business. And I wound up selling that business for $80,000. And that was like the most money I'd ever seen in my life. So that's pretty, looking back now, I probably could have made a lot more money, but I really wasn't excited about it anymore because I was making like plumber websites and roofing websites. And it's just like, it was just like grind and grind and grind. And like I had some good VAs, but I had a VA rob me. And then I was just like, man, I'm done with this business. Like I want to do something else. But from there, now how I make a lot of money is I make courses. So I have a podcast course. You can go to successfulpod.com. I have a YouTube course, evergreencreators.com. So those were two big things for me to be able to make a passive income, was selling online courses. And I don't use like Kajabi. I don't use ClickFunnels because I don't believe in spending like 200, $300 a month. I use Thrive Themes and WordPress. And those courses sell pretty good. They sell every day, and that's how I really am able to fund my podcast between selling chainsaw carvings, coaching, and courses. So I make about like 6 figures a year from the podcast passively because I record my episodes and then I just promote them, and I make my own money with the courses and the coaching and the art that I make. And then recently I've started wholesaling real estate. So that's the big thing that you kind of wanted to talk about. So we can talk about that. Um, yeah, so I met this guy named Hamza. Uh, Hamza Ibrahim. He's the coolest dude ever, but he has like an 8-figure wholesale real estate flipping thing. So I was really into coaching, And I was really focused on helping people do high ticket sales, because a lot of entrepreneurs, like, they try and make money. My courses sell. They're only like $100 and they sell, but I'm never going to get rich. Like, that's the real passive income for me. That's just like awesome. I can go buy some shoes or something, pay my bills essentially, but I'm never going to get rich. So I really wanted to focus on high ticket, basically sales. And I met this guy. First, I met Tanner Chidster. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he's like a super fitness guy. And I really wanted to work with him, and we started working, and he liked my work ethic, and we started shooting the shit. So I started doing sales for him. Basically, he taught me everything. He's hardcore, man. He used to do like door to door, and he's just like, he's a beast. He's just a beast. And what happened is I met, through him, I met Hamza, and Hamza does wholesale real estate. So it was kind of just connections. Like, once you start getting connected, I've discovered, like, 2021 for me is just all about collaboration and connection. So if you can connect with people that are doing big stuff, like way bigger than you, you're like essentially like, what's the boat metaphor? Like, raising tide lifts all boats or something like that. Yeah. And so I just realized I want to get in contact with these guys. And I was lucky enough to meet Tanner, and Tanner is just such a cool dude. Like, he makes like $1 million a month. So I was just like in awe of his business. And it was like, okay, if I can't beat him, I'm gonna join him. And I figured out how to work with him. And then Hamza was doing all his own sales though. He was doing all his own sales calls. So I was like, okay, well, if Tanner's got all these guys, and I'm just going to be like right here, or I can go learn wholesaling with Hamza, and I can like be the number one guy over there. Then I went and did that. And that's how I started learning wholesale real estate. And wholesale real estate has changed my life. So I go from Colorado to Arizona, and in Arizona, there's a lot of wholesalers, but they don't know what we know on how to find these deals. So wholesale real estate, right? Let me take a breath, dude. I'm kind of,
it's all good.
Wholesale real estate is like, you don't have to be a licensed realtor. You don't have to really do much. You just have to make the connections. You have to find people that want to sell their house. Like, I always look for, like, I'm actually helping people. So some people get like a weird idea in their head that if you're a wholesaler, you're like ripping people off, when it's not true. Like, there's a lot of people, especially now with the pandemic, and they're just not making enough money, and they have a house, and the house is just going to get foreclosed on, and it's going to go to auction. If you ever had anything go to auction, like, you're not going to get any money. You're not going to get what you want for your house. Like, I had a car repoed, and I still owe money on that car, but and it's just like, so basically we find these houses, these deals, and you get a contract that they want to pay cash for this house. So, and then once you get it under contract, you find a cash buyer, or you find an investor, or, somebody who's looking to buy the house, and you basically sell the contract. So you make money being the middleman. But let's say you find a house for $100,000. They want to sell the house for $100,000. You get it under contract for $100,000, and then you go and find a buyer. You tell the buyer, I have a house for $120,000. And the buyer says, okay, cool. I want to fix and flip it. I want to put it to my portfolio. I want to buy it and then put it on Airbnb, whatever. So you sell the piece of paper to the buyer, and you make $20,000 in between. You take both. You basically make him sign a contract that says, okay, I'm gonna buy it for 120. You bring both the titles, both the contracts, to a title company, and then the title company cuts you a check, and they do the switcheroo. And like, ever since I saw that, like, my motivation, my hustle, and my mindset has just been like, okay, like, I can make $20,000 a week, like, doing this. Like, no one's gonna outwork me now. No one's gonna out hustle me. But it's pretty competitive down here in Phoenix, actually. But so what's really cool though about the program that we have, so you can, I guess the best recommendation is just go to Real Estate Wholesaling Empire Builders. It's a Facebook group. It's a long Facebook group. Or just Google Hamza Ibrahim, Ibrahim, and then Hamza. And
I think I saw him on your group there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's been doing this for like 15 years. But yeah, so like I said, like, I really want people to, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, if you're trying to do a side hustle, always have something that can absolutely explode your income. Like, a lot of people, my metaphor that I tell people is like, the Matrix, when Neo is going to jump from like one rooftop to the other one, so Morpheus goes and he does the big jump, and then Neo's about to make the jump, and everybody's like watching, and they're all like, oh my God, what if he makes it on the first try? Nobody makes it on the first try, and then it's so suspenseful, and then Neo jumps, and then he eats shit. So nobody makes it on the first try. And a lot of these entrepreneurs, though, are trying to jump across from roof to roof for like $100, and they still fail. It's like, so if you're going to be trying these big leaps of faith and trying to step into your greatness, go for something that's going to change your life. Go for $10,000, $20,000, not $100, not $37 and then fail and go back to work. Like that's kind of my mindset. And the easiest way to, actually break out of the 9-to-5 hustle, break out of the struggle is to focus on something that's going to bring you a high ticket deal. Because it's just as much work to get your first deal for $100 as it is if you can get one for 1,000 or $10,000. It's just the mindset that you have to have. So now with the wholesale real estate, like I get real excited for deals that I can make like 20 grand on. And it doesn't happen all the time. It's not my thing, but I know that the easiest way for me to reach financial freedom is to find things that actually pay the, life-changing amounts of money almost. Not 20 grand might not be life-changing for some people, but it's definitely going to put my business into like hyperdrive. Every time I get a new deal, every time I close one of those contracts, it's the scariest day of my life. And then it's the most exciting day of my life.
Yeah, for
sure. Oh man. But yeah, so basically I started the podcast, and that really kind of propelled me to interviewing, higher up people, talking to more people. I've always been an avid reader too. Like, so I've just learned basically how to learn. Like I never did well in school. I always had some special thing. But I learned how to learn, and that's helped me everywhere I go. So like this whole selling thing, I had to learn sales real fast. Like I was an accidental salesman. And then the wholesaling thing, I had to learn wholesaling really fast. So I learned that really quick. And the whole time I was chainsaw carving, I was always reading books. Same with marketing. So the ability to adapt and the ability to have a positive mindset, I've gone from failure to failure countless times, and I'm finally now seeing the fruits of my labor. So it's pretty exciting.
So when you do this, for you, this is like a full-time thing?
Yeah, now it's a full-time thing. So I still have the chainsaw carving thing, which is as random as crap, but
it's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, and the podcast, but I mostly focus on wholesaling now, and I still do sales for him. Like we have a mentorship, so I'm basically selling it, but I'm selling what I'm doing. That's important. There's a lot of people out there that are selling stuff that they're not actively doing.
They don't even know. Yeah. So
yeah.
For somebody who has like maybe 10 to 15 hours a week that they can put into a side hustle, is this something that they can do?
Absolutely. We tell most people all you need is about 10 hours. Not even that. You could do this with one really focused hour a day.
Okay. And then, is what you're offering a course then that they can take to learn how to do this? They can learn how to find these houses, these deals, that kind of thing. Is that?
Well, what we're doing is a mentorship. So it's $10,000 to work with us because our stuff works. And we have like all these videos and all this stuff.
Do you tell that price up front, or do you get them on a call? Because I don't want to put.
We get them on a call and then I close them.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to put that in.
Yeah. And I mean, that's not to scare anybody away. It's just that you make one deal, you make your money back,
Yeah.
And we can't give it away for free because there's already competition and stuff like that. So
it's a mentorship. They work one-on-one with you, and you basically walk them through how to do this.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a text. So basically it's a hands-on mentorship is what we call it. You get access 24/7 if you have a question via Microsoft Chats. And then if you have our phone numbers too. So like say you need to make a deal at 7:00 on a Tuesday and you don't know what to do, you can call us at 7:00 on a Tuesday in real time and we'll help you work out the deal. And we do group coaching calls every week. And it's just like, we try and not make it one of those things where we just throw a bunch of information at you and then run away and we take your money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those out there. Ever since the pandemic, everybody's a guru. But the cool thing about wholesaling is like, I've tried everything, I've tried stocks. I've tried affiliate marketing. I've tried coaching. I've tried drop shipping, all the hot things, I've tried them all. I've made some money. They all work. But I haven't made real money except for with wholesale real estate and my other passions. Like if I'm real passionate about something, anything can work if you're passionate. But wholesale real estate, I kind of was just dabbling. And then I got my first sale and it was like 14 grand. And I was like, okay, like this is different. This is some real shit right here. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's been pretty wild. So this, and I started this at kind of the beginning of the pandemic too. So the wholesaling thing has only been going on for about a year for me now. And it's been awesome because you could also do this virtually. That's one of the coolest things. So if you want to, we can talk about that a little bit. So if you wanted to do it virtually, it's the same deal. So like Mississippi and Alabama and Las Vegas, those are places that I've been doing some virtual deals. It's a little different, but you basically just get them to first you find the contracts the same way that you do. Like I can't give all those secrets away, like I said, but
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
tons of ways to get leads. You can go on YouTube. What's most important is that you find one way to make money, one area that makes you money, and then you just hyper focus on that. That's the main thing. But you find these deals, right? You find someone who has a distressed house or someone who wants to just sell their house. A lot of the times it's just people that own houses and they're just tired of having this house on the property. They're like renters or whatever. And they're like, I'm just tired of the headache of dealing with tenants and stuff like that. Like, I just want to sell it. Like, the last people that lived there kind of wrecked it and they don't even want to invest the money to fix it up again. So they just want to sell the house. Well, there's lots of different reasons why people want to sell their house. It's just like anything. But you find the deal, right? So I found one in Las Vegas a little while ago. They wanted to sell the house. They owed like 100,000 on it. They didn't want to pay it anymore. We negotiated for like 150,000 or something like that. And basically what I did is I called a real estate agent in Las Vegas. And he didn't want to help me, but then I called again and I talked to the secretary and I had the secretary help me. So the secretary of the real estate agent went over and they don't have to do anything, but I had a cash buyer who he lives in Nebraska actually. And he wanted a couple pieces of real estate in Las Vegas. And basically the homeowner of the house sent me pictures, a video walkthrough of the house, like a whole video walkthrough, and then pictures of all the sides and all the stuff. And they were honest, pretty cool people. And they basically packaged that all up and they sent it to me. I sent it to the buyer. The buyer basically looked it over and had somebody, one of his guys, go there and meet with my secretary and do an actual walkthrough. So these are other people that me and the buyer have never really, like, we don't really know them. They will walk through. I mean, the buyer knew his guy and he checked it out. Everything was fine. They signed the deal and probably here in the next 10, 20 days, we should get closing and I should get paid. So I stayed here right where I'm sitting and I did the whole deal over the phone and via like video and Zoom and things like that. And I'm gonna make a profit and I'm gonna do a lot more of these because I like it. And it's just a matter of dealing with people and negotiating on prices that you really have to work on. Because whenever somebody's selling a house, like there's quite a bit of emotion, and I try to, not do anything. Like if I feel gross about it, I'm never going to do the deal. I'm just not going to do it, But there's people that are actually hurting that need help, and it's kind of like selling cars almost. Because I've sold some cars back in the day. So you get a car, you want to, sell it. Somebody else wants to fix it up, or you fix it up and then you sell it. It's just it's a little bit bigger. It's properties.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So just because one of the things, I'm so sure that, in order to get people to click through to want to get on a call with you is you want to handle some objections up front. Yeah. One thing that I have thought about during this call is what happens if you take on a contract. Just help me understand when you say to the buyer who says, yeah, I'm going to give you a contract for $100,000 for the house. If you can't find somebody to purchase it at a higher price, are you on the hook for that contract?
Yeah, well, that's why you write contracts for legal. You always protect your butt. Like that's all the contracts I write protect me. But I mean, they're not gonna like sue me. Like, I mean, if it really ever escalated that far, then I have the contract. But the contracts are just there to protect me. But to be honest, in the climate nowadays, it's more of trying to find the leads than it is the buyers. There's a lot of buyers out there that want to buy real estate. Like, it's almost always a buyer's market unless you're buying stuff in the boondocks. You can do this with land as well. You can do this with vacant land as well. Anything that you can really put under contract, you can do this with. So usually when I want to find a buyer, like I make them sign a contract that says I'm going to promote. So hell or high water, I'm going to sell that house, once I get it under contract. Like I'm going to put it everywhere. I'm going to run PPC to it if I have to. I'll make like drone videos flying around it if I have to, There's a lot of fun ways that you can sell a house. And what we actually try and do is we try and sell a house in 72 hours. So if I get a contract on Tuesday, I'm going to have a showing that weekend or the weekend after, whenever, the seller allows it. And I'm basically going to try and cause a bidding war. So I'm not just going to have my cash buyers. Like I have a large list of cash buyers that I blast out with a text about the property. And then I have 72 hours. I tell them there's 72 hours to close. You can come and visit it for 72 hours. And I want the whole town also to know about the house for that 72 hours. So I put a lot of investment into selling that deal and making sure like everybody wants to come there. So like we do like a whole showing, and we can do that virtually too. That's a little bit harder, but that's what I try and do. So like if I get a house under contract, I basically blast it to every single person that is willing to buy a house. And there are always deals, like there are always houses that I try and get 45% of what you see. Like, so if you go on Zillow, this is like a rule of thumb. The Zillow price is always completely blown up. Like they're liars. So what I try and do is I get at least 45% less of what's on Zillow. And then I try and negotiate for that price. And then once I get that deal under contract, like I said, then I hit up every cash buyer that I know in the area. I also try and have a big show, and I try and limit it to have people basically bidding for that 72 hours. So I get the highest bidder. And
Gotcha.
that's how you do it.
Cool.
I mean, there's always going to be deals that fall through. Not everything works out. Like, it's not like a magic recipe. Anything with people, there's always something weird that's going to
Yeah, yeah,
happen.
yeah. Awesome. Is there anything else that like you would like me to try and work into the article that can try and
Just
um,
the podcast. So successfulpod.com. I really think podcasting is incredible. I found one secret to basically rank on iTunes. So if you go to iTunes, you'll see The Lyon Show, which is my podcast. And that has grown me to like 100,000 downloads from that one secret because everybody else is trying to rank on Google and YouTube and Instagram and all this stuff, and they're sleeping on iTunes. And iTunes is where podcast listeners look for podcasts. So I sell that in my course. And the podcasting has really just helped me, and I think it could help a lot of people in the pandemic just because, like, just to connect, like we're doing right now, talking to people or trying to, you know, raise your status. I will, like, if you
sure.
don't want to hang out with people in your house, like hang out with people online and try and
Yeah,
talk to people that are doing cool shit.
yeah,
um,
absolutely.
the wholesaling thing is totally awesome, though. I think everybody should definitely learn at least how to start getting into real estate. Like, the best thing about wholesaling is you get into real estate with other people's money. That's what is so nice about it. And I mean, you can watch a lot of videos, and you could probably get your first deal even without a mentor, without a coach. But then what do you do? So that's what we're here
Yeah,
for. Like, we're here to basically help you build it into a real business. Like, I'm kind of automating everything right now. I'm still like kind of thick-headed, and I do a lot of the work myself. But I got a VA to sift through all the bogus leads because, like, sometimes when I do a text message blast, you can do 1,500 text messages in a day, and I don't have time to respond to all those. Like, that's an insane amount of response, and I have
for
to figure
sure.
out which ones are the real leads and which ones are just people like yelling at me to stop texting them. It's just like, so yeah, there's a whole process to it. There's lots of little secrets you can learn of how to make money doing this. So
Cool.
yeah, it's good to have a coach or a mentor. That's what I'm saying.
So, okay, so I've got a few. Um, so we've got the Success Pod. Um, I'm probably going to mention the wood carvers just so that
Yeah,
people can go
that would
check
be
out
really cool
something
too.
really cool too.
Yeah.
But what would be the main way you would like people to contact you about the wholesaling
Wholesaling.
program?
Well, when is this going to come out?
So this will go out next Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh, okay. So let me make sure that it's .com, but it's just going to be reiempirebuilders.com.
EI Empire Builders.com. Okay.
Oh crap! Let me make sure because we've got like so many different funnels. It's annoying. I mean, if anything, the Facebook group would be the best place too. So I'll just send you that link.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have a link tree link, but that's always kind of weird to put into show notes. I do SEO and I make all kinds of nice websites, but Hamza, he's not the most technical savvy. If it's not real estate, he doesn't get it. But he's a good dude. Yeah, let me just see one more time. The funnel is REI Empire Flippers. But yeah, let's just send people to the Facebook group. So I'll send that to you.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. And then there is a free course as well, which is something I could definitely give you too. So I'll put the free course.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, that's kind of the tip of the funnel. So,
That'll
and they get a free course. I mean, our whole thing is like information is free, but implementation costs money costs a fee because like there's tons of information. Everybody's, overwhelmed almost with information. It's just kind of, if you want to take action or if you want to know what to do in real time, that's when you need a coach or a mentor to really start this business. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Speeds it up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Okay. Very cool. Well, thank you very much
No worries, man.
for
This is
telling
fun.
me all about this stuff. This is super
Definitely.
cool. And yeah, so I have an email list and a Facebook group, and basically I post it on the blog and then I promote it to them.
Yeah.
I only have like 1,000 people so far. It's just building, but
Cool.
nonetheless, that's 1,000 eyes to sit on it. And I'll shoot you over a link, obviously, as well when it's up, so that you can share it with your people. And yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully
cool.
it drives a little bit for you.
Yeah, sorry to give you so many links. If you could do the Lyon show as well, the Lyon show.com. That's my podcast. So I got a pretty good audience on there, and I might share this, so I'll get your links as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, cool, man. Any other questions?
No, no, bro. That's amazing. I appreciate you doing this for me. Super cool stuff you got going on there. And if people reach out to me too, I'll definitely point them right to
Yeah.
you.
Or if you get a bunch of questions, we can do another one or something. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have any cool side hustles? I mean, I could interview you on my podcast as well.
So right now I do marketing for martial arts academies.
Cool.
And I have a high ticket course called Digital Business U. So basically, I teach people how to use Facebook ads, how to build funnels within ClickFunnels, it's a high ticket course. It's $1,000, but
Nice.
it's super cool. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. And now I've got this website, and it's got the side hustle catalog and stuff. So as I go along here, I'm going to be adding in affiliate links and just working on the passive side of things as well. So
Totally, man. Well, I love that, man. I like people that do martial arts because it teaches you discipline, so then I actually know, like, if you do martial arts, you're probably going to follow through and not just be full of it.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's pretty cool.
Well, you learn how to live in tough situations. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
The jiu-jitsu you did, was it Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I was Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I loved kickboxing and everything. So like that really was awesome. And I went further in Aikido though, because Aikido is just what I started when I was little. And then I started doing kickboxing, and then I went back to Aikido because I thought I still think Aikido is cool. I think it's just like an interesting way to use people's attacks to, fuck them up almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more like passive kung fu or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Awesome.
I got to get ready for a call. So this is awesome, man. I really
Sounds good.
appreciate it.